asked members of the public what they thought of comedian Bob Monkhouse. And our survey said...
He's a good ad-libber.
Very, very funny man.
And what about the very alternative Frank Skinner?
Funny. Like him. Very quick.
Is that a recent photograph? It's quite funny, actually. He's quite a funny guy.
Or the lovely Jonathan Ross?
What does anyone think of Jonathan Ross?
Sharp suits, hair gel.
He's quite funny, he's quite cheeky.
Why? Because we'll soon be appearing in a brand new comedy show on BBC One. We have some classic gags.
I wouldn't say my mother-in-law was ugly, but...
with some alternative tags.
She fell asleep in the garden and the cat buried her.
Gag Tag begins Tuesday the 19th of July on BBC One.
Open your mind.
Celebrity quiz time, now on BBC One with Bygones.
Aboard our game show Charabang Gang, it's Bygones, the game where we heave a quizzical brick through the window of recollection and let some fresh air in on its mustier corners. Yes, folks, if your memory is a house, then we're going up into the attic to ask why you haven't chucked some of this junk out. For instance, run for your lives. It's a John Ball printing set. Good old John Ball printing set, long before computers, long before anything. Except those things on stations which you could pull the handle of and it would give you a tin thing with your name on it. What were they called? Anyway, they did that. John Ball printing set, yeah. After Caxton introduced movable type and revolutionised Europe, John Ball kept the gag going for another 3 centuries. The John Ball printing set. To help us indelibly stamp such stuff on your TV CV over the upcoming 30 minutes, we have 2 teams exclusively made from people who still giggle like children whenever they hear the phrase penal reform. They are. To my right, there's Donna Croll, unless I'm mistaken. The ever-youthful, in America, that look would cost you a fortune in surgery, but he does it naturally. There's Denis Law. Yeah. Denis, no holding your cuffs tonight, just for us, eh? There's Rick Wakeman, of course, Rick Wakeman. And by the way, tonight, for the first time this series, perhaps the only time ever, Rick's going to play the stylophone for us. Yeah. Do you know, you and your sisters, they did it for me and still do, but I know your husband, so I best not say more. There's Colleen Nolan. Not Jack, not Jonathan, but still at it. And quite rightly, he's the best. It's Fred Dinenage. Yeah. Oh. People aspire to Dinenage's crown, amongst them Britain's foremost baggy pants comic. Why, Craig Ferguson! Yeah. Round 1, in which people hopelessly late for work were made hopelessly later by our camera crews, bugging them to tell us what they remember about certain consumer sins of their youth. Rick's team, what are these folk frothing about?
It was a time of real liberation, I think.
I even cut up a pair of my father's corduroy trousers and made one out of those.
But in the time they were in, they had quite a striking effect, I remember, on all the youths at that time, so dances especially.
My mother hated it because she said, this is not for the girls like you.
OK, there's the clues you're going to get. If you get it in those initial clues, you get 2 points. After that, it's just 1.
Can we get a bit of a recap?
If I had my notes with me, I'd give you a
don't
recap.
worry, I'm just
they said it was mauve, you could play in the garden with it, and it looked like a rake.
Yeah, OK. Yeah, I'm bemused by...
No, in the sentence there, you'll be mused.
Yes, I am, by the cutting up of the corduroy trousers by a mother.
You could cut up corduroy trousers and make them. Mothers thought they were outrageous. Anything.
Yeah. Well, if you cut up corduroy trousers, what you're left with is outrageous. I'll have another look at the next things.
Don't say a duster.
No, we'll have another look at the next clues.
OK, let's go for 1 point. The easy clues.
I suppose you can save a lot of money on it because it doesn't take too much fabric.
And I got my mother to sew me one up because I wanted to look like Cilla Black.
Dad was quite horrified.
But you had to be very careful how you moved and don't drop anything.
It's all there now. Of course, Bygones usually means you don't get them anymore, but we're talking about one of the biggest fads in Britain.
Yeah,
of course, they still linger on, but...
Yes, hot pants. We've got hot pants.
You say hot pants?
Yeah.
That's what I said, you see. That's what I said, hot pants.
I said a
But it's like...
miniskirt.
What do you say?
I said a miniskirt.
You said a miniskirt
I did.
or hot pants. Rick, what's the official answer from your
It's
side?
hot pants, because you can't cut up corduroy trousers and make a miniskirt.
Let's see what they were talking about.
It's the miniskirt.
Yes!
How can you cut up corduroy trousers?
It depends how thin you are.
Yeah.
You must have a
You
very
just put your
fat
legs in
dad.
one trouser.
That's it, in one trouser.
One
Exactly.
trouser, you cut the trouser leg.
I'm sorry, Rick, and of course...
your dad?
There were a few... I mean, let's see if your mob can do any better. Craig Ferguson's team, look out.
They were very attractive. They were square.
And were supposed to revolutionise your life pre-computers.
Well, with me, I used to break the spring.
But they never worked correctly.
Ah, there you are. It's a domestic appliance, pre-commuters, never work correctly, revolutionise your life.
With a spring.
With a spring in them.
With a spring.
With a spring.
How do you How do you revolutionise your life with a spring?
Hey, you know what Mal,
That's a very good question, that, Craig.
Yeah?
I don't know the answer.
OK.
So, do you want to see the easy clues?
Yes,
we'll
please.
see the easy clues, please, Danny.
OK, let's see the easy clues.
Once you used it and it got old, then it got stuck in between letters.
As a little kid, I used to press the button, and a little flap used to fly up.
You had them on a table near the telephone.
Frequently, you'd sort of press the P and get the M, or press the N and get the Z.
Hold on.
We know what it is.
It's one of those telephone directory things, and you press it, you know, B for Baker or B for whatever, and up it flies.
OK. You all agreed on that?
I think we are.
You know what they did with hot pants? You're willing to go with it? Captain's decision, Colleen, yes? OK, let's have a look what it actually was.
It's a flip-top address book.
OK, for instance, set it on N and simply press here. There it goes.
What have you got?
That's P. Oh, Richard Nixon. I don't do that anymore, do I? At the end of that round, we have a point between us. Rick Wakeman 0, but over this side, Craig Ferguson, a big 1. Now then, you've got a headache, so you go to the medicine cabinet to get a strip of Aspros. But there aren't any. Instead, there are hundreds of bottles of brown prescription medicines for illnesses that science eradicated from this planet around the turn of the century. So you make a mental note, I must chuck those old medicines out. But you never do. Well, it's pretty much the same at the Great Yarmouth House of Waxworks. When their... Yes, it is.
We love them.
When their exhibits pass their fame-by dates, they still retain the heads in their archive. Fortunately for us. And they've loaned us a couple tonight. Lateral thinking here, gang. I'll show you a head, one of those old medicine bottles, if you continue the illusion. Ask me 3 questions about it, then tell me who we're looking at. Donna, Dennis, Rick. Who's that? And it's the toughest one of the series.
Oh, why have you given that one to us?
Because I don't like any.
I think that's really unfair.
I don't know. It's ask me 3 questions and see if... Dennis.
Has he been a football player?
He hasn't been a football player. No, he is not a football player. I went for that.
Can you just turn the head a bit so I can see what his profile looks like? Go on, turn it back.
OK, right, there it is. What do you think?
He's got nice teeth.
You want to know if he's a sportsman?
He's not good-looking enough to be an actor.
Is he then?
Is
he is a sportsman, yes.
Right.
No.
I think
Sebastian Coe. Correct.
You've got another question if you want to ask.
OK, I'll ask another question then.
Ready? I'll join in on this one, Rick, as it's a lot. No, I'll join in it. To this camera over here. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Was he around?
Does he play table tennis? Every single show we've had. But who's your guess?
Was he a runner?
Sebastian Coe.
No danger.
OK? No danger?
No danger whatsoever.
Confidence
Guaranteed.
never leaves you, does it? Confidence never leaves you. They say Sebastian Coe. What do we say, Stuart? Yes! You like my new hat? I'm sorry, who's that? Oh, shut up there, will you? We're playing a game down here.
No, feel free.
No, feel free to play in the audience, but please, no wagering. OK, who is that? Colleen, ask me a question.
It's disgusting. Oh, he's got a spot there.
Yeah, he has a spot. He has a spot.
Yes. Well, he mustn't be an actor then.
No, right. He has a spot. Anyone got any questions?
Is he an actor?
Yeah, he's an actor.
Right. Did she present...
No, don't you... One show without doing the Valerie Singleton illusion, would you?
All right, then. Did she present Blue Peter?
No. Fred, ask me a question.
Danny, was he ever a table tennis player?
Oh!
Good question, Fred.
You see, at this stage of the game, it's all, who cares? Let's have a laugh. When it comes to the speed round at the end, you'll find you're trailing. You'll regret that. I need no more questions. Who is it?
We know he's an actor, you know?
Yep. Think the Great Escape.
The greatest. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
it's him. It's him.
Yes.
It's him. It's not the bald one.
It's not the bald one.
No.
It's Steve
McQueen.
Excuse me. One of the few duties of the host is to reveal. At least wait. Let's see who this is. Steve McQueen.
Thank you very much.
Rick 2, Craig 3. Did you notice back there I mentioned Aspros? Yeah, Aspros. Well, their toddler counterparts, junior aspirins, you remember, with the cotton wool in the bottle, are now sadly bygones. Although replaced by bigger and better modern counterparts, we like to think somehow they're still with us. Luckily, people are not pharmaceuticals. Well, except Keith Richards. And they're here to tell us their tale.
Before we begin the Quatermass 2, we'd like to say that, in our opinion, it is not suitable for those of you who may have a nervous disposition.
We are Jack Kine and Bernard Wilkie, and we believe that we are the first ever television effects men. We started in BBC television in 1945.
Yes.
And until 1978, we were working on almost every comedy and every drama that anybody has ever seen. When we were filming Quatermass and Pit, the character Sladen is being pursued by the devil, and he trips and falls. And as he does so, the gravel path begins to ripple. Jack and I rushed out to Ealing Shops and we bought some webbing and some bits of half-round
broom handles
or something. Put it under a tarpaulin and shook gravel all over that. And of course, when we pulled it, so the gravel rippled. And yet that was one sequence which people do remember. When we had to do 1984, Jack designs a sort of oval thing with a lens on the bottom. And then behind that, we put an old wind-up gramophone motor with a torch on it and a little bulb.
What are you doing there?
I came for a replacement valve. My speak right.
Your speak right ceased to function?
Oh, yes.
This irregularity has been recorded.
We had to remember to keep winding up the gramophone motors because they only lasted so long. But we only had one handle. I passed the handle to Jack, he would go up and wind up a motor, and I'd say, that one's running down, I'll do that. And we kept going round and round throughout the entire performance until we met in the middle behind the scenery.
And nobody got the handle?
We'd lost the handle, we put it down somewhere.
You can turn it off. Yes, we can turn it off. We have that privilege.
Looking back, we sound old hat now, well we are, let's face it. But we started something which in the annals of television was unique in itself. But it was fun, wonderful fun.
And so to round 3 of the game. You know, the latest American spy satellite photos show that although Iraq has dismantled their nuclear research centres, Saddam may still secretly be working on perfecting one of these.
No.
It's a stylophone, and it's a very worrying development indeed. Of course, the West had stylophones up till as recently as 1973, until its use was linked to such major catastrophes as the San Francisco earthquake and Chicory Tip. But under strict UN supervision, our teams have one each tonight. They must follow the notes they've been given and thereby attempt to play a former chart-smash song. To help, we further unearthed the original Top of the Pops performance film that went with this hit first time around. Tonight, we're going to start with Craig's team. Who's playing for you, Craig?
Colleen's playing for us.
It's Colleen!
Yeah.
OK, Colleen, you've had a little while to practice this song, yeah? Yeah, and if that caterwauling I heard coming from green room, dressing room 31's anything to go by, it's going to be a long night.
Don't, I'm good at this.
You are good at this, I know. All right, she's good at this. So, Colleen, would you play the song 3, 2, 1, go? What's this? That's actually very come into the studio. Colleen, Nolan, by the way, rocking on the xylophone there.
We think that, well, Fred thinks that he knows it.
I think I've got it.
Go on, Fred.
Yeah? Can you give me a musical accompaniment, please?
Yeah. When you go then, Fred.
Ready?
Yeah.
You are everything.
We're going to find out, and watch out for the man in suit who looks over his shoulder. Play it. You are everything. You are everything. Five plays 2. Now, you're yet to go, but first, let me say this. Throughout the run of this show, we've had letters saying you've got one of the greatest keyboard players in the world with you. Why doesn't he ever try the stylophone? Because he's too proud. Rick Wakeman says he has a reputation to maintain and won't play the stylophone. Unless we meet his terms. 1, no old Top of the Pops footage. And 2, he's got to play the stylophone in the way he plays the stylophone. So we've said, yeah, we've buckled in, and here, on the stylophone, in his own inimitable way, it's Rick Wakeman.
Yeah!
No, I can guarantee.
Yeah,
the way he played that, way that Rick played it, there is no danger what that song was.
What
That
was
is
it?
Dancing in the City.
By Marshall Haim.
Correct.
I'll be staggered if it wasn't. Only in that. Let's see what it was.
Alleys that we run through.
Dry ice is meant to be cold.
Yeah.
That was bloody red hot, that was.
Was it? Old Faithful spouting up the trouser leg, was it?
No, it was Old Faithful melting down the trouser leg.
At the end of that extraordinary round, despite Rick's efforts, they still share 9 points. 4 plays 5. Well, as they used to say, this Timex has been around the world 3 times, strapped to the axle of a Jeep, and it's still ticking. And it tells me it's time for a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Come ride with me. Nicholas' head drives a rose. For someone else, he loves it like a woman.
He rides smooth on Regent.
Why does he choose Regent? He's got his reasons.
Why don't you come in and see me sometime?
Live Regent, the lively one.
So if our culture is a courtroom, then trend-setting clothes are our fingerprints. One carelessly taken photograph can become the cornerstone of a subsequent generation's witch hunt. Teams, we have some snaps here of famous people in days past, proving that if fashion law is ever enforced, these people are going straight to jail. But who is wearing what? Rickside, have a look at this. Who is this, a rock and rolling the night away in a rather she-ish fashion? That's rather nice.
Well, having visited number 10 during her short reign, or very long reign there, I recognise her from answering the door. That's Margaret Thatcher.
I have shown who it is. It's our own dear Queen.
Oh. So I was correct.
Who'd have thought our own dear Queen shook a pretty non-stop shoe?
Yeah.
Craigside, who's this? This is an actress humiliating herself in the 1960s. Which one?
I don't think it's Bridget Bardot, because Bridget Bardot doesn't have a big red dot on her face like that. I think it is, yeah, you think it is, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. We think it's Goldie Hawn.
Who is this?
Can you show that again?
Yeah,
that Goldie Hawn thing. What's happened to her head? Look at her head.
It's actually
Oh,
David
no, but
Bowie.
in the 60s, it was a real fashion to wear your head too
Really?
It never caught on, but a lot of people you see in the 60s, their head was just sort of here. Oh, yeah, I remember that, a lot of them.
You'd have been good in the 60s then, Rick, wouldn't you?
Yeah, just... He was off his head for most of the 60s, don't worry about it. At the end of that round, Rick's side has just 4, but over here, Craig's side has 5. And on to the final round. It's tough for Rick's side now. It's a careering, blood-curdling, brakes-failing chase of blistering Donald Campbell-like pace. It's our speed round, which this week is all about catchphrases. No VT to watch this time, team. You've got 1 minute on the subjects before me. Stop looking over there, Craig. The rounds before us are advertising catchphrases or television catchphrases. An interesting distinction. What one do you fancy?
Right, television.
Television catchphrases it is. Most of these questions will require you to finish off a well-known TV catchphrase from a show. OK? As soon as you answer, the clock will begin. You've got to get as many of these right in 1 minute. Here we go. I'll say the catchphrase. You've got to finish it. Your mission, Dan.
Pass.
Should you decide to accept it. Live from Norwich, it's...
The sale of the century.
No, it's not yours, Donna. It's Rick's. I can't give it to you. Going straight on to Dennis. It's Friday. It's 5 to 5. It's...
Crackerjack.
Crackerjack. Donna.
It's now or
Monty
never.
Python's Flying Circus. Rick. I'm Dill the dog.
And I'm Dill the
I'm a dog called Dill. Dennis. I'm a great big silly old...
Ass.
Hector. Coming back to Donna. Shush the audience. Hugh, Pooh, Barney, McGrew.
Dibble, dabble and hob.
Cuthbert, Dibble and Grub. Keep 'em...
Mum.
Peeled. Dennis Law. Oh, I hate you.
What?
I hate you. But shush the audience.
I hate you.
Give a point to the audience. Butler it is. Donna. Oh, titter.
Titter ye not.
Titter ye not. Rick Wakeman. Nobody expects.
Us to win this game.
Spanish Inquisition. From Dad's Army. They don't... Dennis Law. I've started, so I'll finish. Dennis Law from Dad's Army. Oh, that's sir. They don't like it up on the...
Up the Krauts.
No! The Fuzzy Wuzzies. Audience, if you think you'd have done better tonight, applaud loudly. Staggeringly, at the end of a very easy round, you scored 2. That brings the score to 6, playing 5. You're in front. OK, as long as you get 2 of these right, you've won tonight's game. But as you can see, it can go horribly wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes,
Do you want to know the latest scores? It's 6 to that side, 5 to that side,
Yes.
and 19 to the audience. All right. Your questions will be on advertising catchphrases. As soon as you give me the first answer, Colleen, we'll belt on, OK? You need 2 to win the game. Here's the first advertising catchphrase. Just finish it for me, Colleen. Sorry, mate, you're too late. The best piece went...
To him.
No, Farrers. Craig, if you see Sid...
Tell him.
1. Fred, someone's mum...
Must know.
Didn't use Purcell. Coming back... Spit. Didn't... Watch out, there's a...
Watch out, there's a... I can't remember it.
Humphrey about. Craig, I believe it to be a major...
Breakthrough in road safety. Contribution to road safety.
Absolutely right. Fred, buy some for...
Breakfast.
No, Lulu.
Oh.
Pal, it prolongs...
Life. Lives.
No, active life. Craig.
Oh, God, you could have given me
It's a topical. Heroin, it really...
Screws you out.
Absolutely, Craig. Coming on. Don't say brown, say...
Hobbies.
Yeah, rocking away now. Colleen, as fresh as the moment when the peas went...
Hot.
Out of it. Shut up! I've accepted. The game's won. You don't have to play no more. What works wonders?
Double diamond.
A double diamond works wonders. You absolutely slaughtered them.
Types of stylophones do not a winner make.
Ah, well, there it is. Despite the excellence of the stylophone round, we have the biggest winning margin of the entire series. Over that side, 6. Craig Ferguson, a big 11. Come on. Well, to the losers, of course, the spoils. And I think this is one of the best prizes you'll see anywhere in game show television because the losers actually really do, and these are authentic, get Cracker Jack pencils. But our winners, of course, receive a more intellectually satisfying prize. Show the good people what they've won. Yes, yours to take home with you is a scoop-necked, bell-sleeves, shirt-tail, tight-fitting 70s T-shirt, courtesy of the good people at Bygones.
I definitely think you should have won that prize. Rick. I'm really sorry.
Rick, yeah. Oh, Rick's had many.
In fact, I'm going to give you my T-shirt.
This has been Bygones. More fun than lying in bed listening to the house creak. More fun than not returning Cher's phone calls. More fun than running your finger along the line where your socks have been. And more fun than long, hot summer days with just about the perfect soundtrack. I'm talking Mungo Jerry. Good night, Sergeant Major!